Casey, thank you for making the time today, man.
Yeah.
It's been many years now that I've been watching CFG and the Family burn through people's minds at an inordinate rate, and it's been a pleasure to do so.
Yeah, we've been having fun. But
how long you had the band?
The band together, it feels. I'm bad at numbers and bad at math, but I want to say it's like 3 years now, 3, 4.
It's like more than a week, less than a decade, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
What was kind of the initial pairing that brought that about? Was it you and one of the guitar players, or?
No, we were all actually hanging out doing open jams at North Second Tap and Bottle and Tap.
It's Daniel that owns that spot, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I love that guy.
Yeah, he's an all right guy. But yeah, that space, man, it's been such a powerhouse of like just developing artists, and like my last 3 bands came out. Well, yeah, 2 bands came out of there. But so many like local artists in Hamilton have developed their bands there, and like just from that open jam and just hanging out and meeting other musicians and all that. So
yeah, what night of the week did they do the open jam?
On Tuesdays.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
you know it's just a concrete block in there. It's like it asks the least of you of almost any music venue I've ever been in. It's like, that's the stage, here's a PA, and the rest is up to you. We got a fridge full of beer, you know. It's like we make it happen.
You get like a foot space to stand in, and it's a concrete box, like you said, and then the electric is shit.
Yeah,
sounds like garbage.
All the guitar players come in there, they're ground lifting everything, trying to get that hum out of their lives.
Yeah.
But there is a special little part of Hamilton. Like, you're right next to, is it River's Edge is the name of that amphitheater?
Yeah.
Are there any other clubs in that part of town?
There's the 513 Club, that just opened up recently over across the river. But it's a different vibe over there. There are a few little spots here and there. Lounge 24 up the street. They've got live music every once in a while. It's a cool little spot. It's coming back to life.
Yeah. So you think people just gravitate because it was the option for a Tuesday night jam? Is that really like the only thing that's going on? Or like, when did you first start going to that?
I mean, I've been going there for like 8 years now or something, like maybe even longer. But it just popped off and became this spot where everybody wanted to be. And you would have the weirdest like combination of folks, because originally when they started doing the open jam, you signed up and you would do 3 songs, but you never knew who you would get up with, so it would be like a hodgepodge of guys, and everyone would be like, well, let's just play something in E and see what happens. And it was more of a jam. Like, you go to like places like the Bell and the Bear. No dig on them. I love Karis. I love the Bell and the Bear. But like, they have a full band that's backing what they do for their open jam.
Totally. And on that open jam, you're calling tunes pretty explicitly. Like,
exactly.
There's not many places where you go to an open jam and they play record top to bottom.
Yeah.
And these guys they're not studying these pieces of work. It's just like you're about to call a deep cut from Kansas, and suddenly Jamie Combs has like a flashback, and we're in. It's like, that's an incredible talent, but there's something really, really open-ended about, let's start in E, and if we end in B, it doesn't really matter.
Right. It's more like, hey, we're just gonna make some music here and just see what happens. We're just playing off each other and vibing. And you like, it was so wild there for a while. Like, you wouldn't know what was happening. Guys would step up and start doing hip hop and rhyming, and then like a saxophone player would jump in, and it was just crazy.
Yeah.
So there were a couple guys dear to my heart that I would meet there quite often. Brandon Sarber, and there was another buddy of ours named Noah, who passed away. But we would go there and just jam, and Bill. My old drummer from North Second Crew, that band I was in, we call him Billy Blackfoot.
Nice.
But Bill would show up as well. But we would all just jam and have a great time. But Noah would play guitar, and he would be like all over the place. Like, the guy would take like 5 or 6 steps off of the stage and just like work the room.
Dude, what a bold thing to do during an aimless open jam. It's one thing if it's like, dude, I got 16 bars, I got to go melt some face.
He was wild, man.
Yeah.
And I got pictures of us and like Brandon and Noah on the floor rolling around playing guitar. Like, the vibe was just something extra and different there. It was just so fun.
Yeah. Do you as a lyricist thrive in that kind of environment where, okay, so you're never like a sit down and write it, you're a feel it and let it kind of write itself?
Yeah, that's how most of my music has developed. Just jamming out with guys and throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah. Well, there's something really beautiful about being a lyricist that has no chordal input. You know, you're very much along for the ride, but you're trying to narrate the story because there's no other like you're like the Wizard of Oz. You're like that's an omnipotent voice to tell people why we arrived in these places.
Yeah.
And you're figuring it out as you go.
Right. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. So have you always kind of been that place of...
No, man. I started off as a bass player. That was my jam. I still love playing bass. I never get to do it anymore, of course, because everybody's like, "Sing, monkey." You know?
Shit hits, you know. It's like, especially as a bass player, you're like, dude, am I gonna get bullied even as the front man? This sucks.
Yeah. But no, but I was a bass player for the longest time, and then
was it your first instrument?
Yes. Yes and no.
It's hard to say.
I mean, as a kid, I picked up a harmonica, of course. There's pictures of me when I was 4 years old running around with a harmonica in my mouth. But
okay, so whose harp was that?
Well, I was gifted harmonicas as a kid through, like, for Christmas and stuff like that. But my mom was friends with Roger Troutman from Zapp.
No shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have memories of him being by the house, but not a whole lot because I was really young. But I don't know, like harmonicas just found their way into my life, you know.
Yeah. And did you have someone showing you how to play it correctly, or was it just something that you had there to kind of wrestle with?
I think I just wrestled with it for the most part until I met my stepdad. My mom got married to this guy. His name's Randy Blades, and he's a blues musician from Hamilton as well. So I just picked up all the instruments that he had laying around the house, and that wasn't until I was like much older. I was like 13 or so when I met him. But so he played harmonica, bass, and sang. So everything that I picked up and do, I like, you know, just kind of got from him by osmosis.
Yeah.
Because I would go to his rehearsals. They had a band called the Karp Brothers. Sorry, I about spit out my own my own band name. But no, their band was called the Karp Brothers, and they won some like WEBN record competition and stuff like that. They were pretty good. But yeah, I just pick up all the stuff he had laying around and tried it out.
Having a decade of just harp as a kid seems like were there any other kids around you that had like this affinity for one instrument at that point? Or was it like everyone's like being forced to take piano lessons and you're the one kid that's like getting on the bus ripping this thing?
Yeah, honestly, like none of the kids that I grew up with were into music. I had little keyboards, you know, and we would mess around. You know, you had the Casio keyboard that like would record your voice and you'd be like,
absolutely.
Yeah. That and just stupid stuff. But like none of the kids that I hung out with were really into music like I was.
Yeah.
Until I got to high school, and then it was like, look at all these musicians. You know, everybody wants to be in a punk band or
And did you just get delegated bass, or had you already said like, no, I'm a bass player and that's how I'm gonna approach these bands?
I think I just kind of was like, I'm gonna play bass because I have one.
Okay.
You know, I've got my stepdad's bass, so I'm gonna borrow that. And,
what bass was it?
Man, he had this amazing. He still has it. It's like a 1960 something Ampeg, AMUB-1. It's fretless. It's the one with the. It's a beautiful bass, dude.
You're playing a fretless in a punk band, or like a nice.
Well, that's what I started off on, but like, I eventually moved over to a Yamaha. I started playing it. He's got this big heavy ass Yamaha that I started playing, and that eventually became mine. But I started off on that Ampeg.
Do you love ambiguous instruments? Is that just kind of your thing? Like, there's something about the notes in between the notes, that certain people have affinity to.
Well, and I tell you what, like learning fretless, man, that I think really helped me to just figure out intonation, notes, like where to place your hands, like where, because there's so many small little micro notes.
Yeah. Well, microtonal music is this whole category that we don't get into because fret markers decide if you're in tune or if you're out of tune.
Exactly.
It's you know, white or black versus, you know, going from a harp to that, everything's kind of gray.
Yeah.
And there's something really interesting about the way that probably developed your ear as a young person, and just like, it doesn't need to be yes or no. Maybe's a kind of cool answer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, Victor Wooten's got this great quote, and I'm going to butcher this, but it's something along the lines of like, you're always one note away from being playing the right note, you know. So like, if you're stumbling and you're off, just one.
And a fretless is a little more seamless. Yeah, it's like,
yeah, you can go one way or the other, and you're gonna be in too.
Yeah. So what's that first band like? Are you like the late arrival, or are you kind of leading? Let's get together, let's jam, let's do this.
No, I was always the late arrival until like way later in life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's the first band?
My first band was with some kids. I mean, I would get together and jam, you know, with a few friends, and they're like, "We're gonna be this band." We never played out, you know, just like that type of shit. But then my first band where we actually played a gig was with some friends, and it was called Mafio Soto.
Sick, fucking sick. I love it.
And I don't know where that name came from.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
Is it a true punk band?
No, it was more of like a alternative weirdo punk thing. Like the singer, his name was Billy Morgan. He's since passed away, but he was a great kid. Like we were all like punk skateboarder kids, you know.
Yeah. How old are you?
I was out of the military by then. So, well, yeah, because this is like high school, you know, like I said, those bands were just like throwaway bands.
Yeah.
Well,
it's still
20-something, 20, you know, 20, early 20s, mid 20s.
I think for you to grow up in a culture, though, where there is enough musicians that people are just getting together and seeing how the chemistry fits. It's like, you know, I saw, you ever watch Rick Beato on YouTube? Mm-hmm. Rick Beato talking about like how the Beatles were like done by 29. It's like, oh, dude, well, that makes me feel fucking great. But there is something to be said that sometimes a group of 18-year-olds get in the room and there's just magic. And you don't really know what to make of that. So what branch did you end up going in?
Air Force.
Cool. You did 4 years?
5.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to extend so I was stationed in Florida for a while. Texas, Florida, and then I had to extend so I could go to Guam. And I was not passing up on that opportunity.
Dude, so by this point in time, has the harp taken a back seat to bass? Or did you kind of make a switch back to harp when it was all this traveling time for you?
Yeah, I didn't even pick the harmonica back up until way later. Like way later.
Now, give me an estimate.
Oh, man. I had to have been in my 30s.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well, let's jump ahead. Why would you arrive back at the harp?
Because I started playing blues.
Okay.
Yeah.
And had you never ventured into the blues before?
No, it was like, you know, punk music doesn't require that.
Yeah. Was your upbringing on the harp mainly blues?
No. Well, I mean, when I first started playing, it was like old Susanna and shit like that.
Okay,
you know, straight harp.
And so...
And when I first started playing, I could not bend notes. And that's... Like, you've played harmonica. You know how...
Shittily, but yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
As everyone who says, like, I can play a little harp, and then they pick up, and then, you know, no one should play like that in front of someone like you. Let's put time in.
Stop.
You know?
But when you first start playing, like, it's a challenge. It's like, how do you do that? You know, bending notes. And my stepdad, I asked him, like, how do you do it? Like, let me know. Show me how you do that. He's like, I can't show you. You just got to learn it, and it'll come to you eventually. And he said, you just have to hold the harmonica at an angle and purse your lips, and it'll happen. Just keep listening, keep practicing, and you'll do it. And I was like, man, fuck you. You know, like, that's not the answer.
That's the most stepdad shit you could have done. Like,
right.
Learn for yourself.
Yeah.
But man,
but honestly, he was right. And I think it was a valuable lesson to me, because it was like, listen, if you want to fucking do this, you gotta put in the time and work, you know, and just like any musical instrument, you gotta spend time with it. And I did, and I played, and then one day, man, I bent that note, and the first note, and I was like, whoa, it was like a light bulb went off.
Yeah.
And then from that day on, it was like, oh, well, here it is. I knew how to play the harmonica.
How much of that moment do you remember vividly?
Like it was last week.
Really?
I mean, compared to how my memories are nowadays, yeah.
Well, isn't it weird the way that something like that burns its way into your subconscious?
Yeah.
Like tell us about that first moment.
Oh, man, I remember I was in my parents' house in the living room, and I think I was playing along, just kind of fumbling around with some blues that was on, because, you know, he had CDs all over the place, and it might have been one of his particular songs, actually, called Change My Mind, where he played harmonica on it, and I was playing along and trying to figure out the parts, and I just locked in and was like, whoa, you know, and there was nobody home, so I had no one to celebrate with but myself, but it was still just kind of like a really cool moment.
Yeah. Well, there's always there's licks, or there's just musical moments where it's like, I don't know, you kick through a glass ceiling, and it's really apparent to you that, like, now I can move on to the next stage of things. Like, Mario don't got shit on this. Those are, like, the coolest moments of a young player's life. So, for the people who have never stepped up and tried harp, you have straight harp, you have cross harp. Are there any other versions of that we're missing?
I'm sure there are. I'm like not. I'm kind of a hack, to be honest with you. I just play whatever comes to me. You know, like same with every instrument that I approach. I'm just kind of like I play by ear, and a vibe. But there, you know, there are straight harp, cross harp, and then there are like different positions. So you have second, third, second, fourth position, and all of that.
Is that where you feel like the chordal bass is like 3 notes kind of flip? It's like every 3?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So when you are bending on, do you bend on both of these options, or are the bends more potent on straight harp versus cross harp, where it kind of has that bluesy tone to it?
On straight harp, you don't bend on straight harp. It's kind of like, think of like Bob Dylan, you know, like or
it's more folksy, straight ahead kind of thing.
Yep.
Gotcha. So when you're bending on cross harp, is it like more of a blues feel at that point, or are you bending yourself from a bluesy kind of tone back to the tonic?
Bluesy. It's more. It's strictly blues for me anyway.
It's got more flavor that way.
Yeah.
And when you're playing on,
then you have like Stevie Wonder, who's playing a chromatic harp, and he's got the lever, and he's doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And that
doesn't even make sense to me.
That's a realm that I don't even understand, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
I was listening to something the other day where it was a Nashville writer just saying, like, don't let musicianship hold back your artistry. And I think there's a lot of harp players that are like that, where it's like, you don't need to have any idea of where the chord movement is going on paper. It's just, can you feel the way that we're going to go to the 4 here? And now you intake, and then you out. And it's like, just, there's an attitude about that instrument that's so fucking different.
Yeah. Do you have the ability to explore and get there?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Do you know where the sound is? Like, is it high? Is it low? Is it in between? Yeah.
Do you find yourself hearing phrases before you play phrases?
I don't hear them per se, but there's a feel always, like especially like when I'm playing with Mason, someone like Mason, and him and I, we just go back and forth. I mean, you've seen some of our stuff, and
that dude's gross.
He's insane.
Yeah.
But
him, and then Matt, how do you pronounce Matt Getz? Goetz.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know how to. Gates.
Dude, I ran to him at like a guitar shop out by out in Anderson.
Super sweet guy.
And I was like, dude, you freak me out. I just see you on the internet. You fuck with my head, And Mason's the same. It's just like some of these young killers that are just there for it.
Those dudes just opened for ZZ Top, man.
I saw that. And I was like, who the fuck can afford both of them?
Yeah.
It's like, but honestly, that's probably exactly what they're looking for. You need some of those young slingers like that.
Yeah,
so,
they're beasts.
Yeah.
But no, I guess what I was saying, like, just feeling the vibe from playing with someone like that, and you lock in, and you got to be able to, when you're improvising, you just got to be able to feel the vibe and what they're throwing out, and then finding the next thing that complements that in one way or the other, whether it's, playing along, playing the same thing, or playing something that's similar and dancing around that. But like, I love that. Like, that's my jam.
And when you're approaching something kind of aimless like that and you want to have options, are you palming a straight harp and a cross harp at all times? Okay. Always picking up one, moving to the next, or are you kind of writing it out?
No, I'm playing in the key. Like, if the song is in A, I'm grabbing a D harp and I'm just riding that out throughout the whole song.
Cool.
Yeah. And just finding my spot within that.
Do you ever find yourself reaching for straight harp on like studio projects when it's more just textural?
I don't enjoy playing straight harp.
Really?
It's just not. It's just not for me.
Soft.
If the song lends for it, like I will. But it's not often that we're playing something that's just like,
it's more padding in some ways.
Yeah, it's kind of like like an organ droning in the background that's just like present.
Yeah. So when you pick up the bass, was that an intentional move away from harp, or was that like you felt inclined at this point, that's the instrument, and now you're finding yourself working with it well, or are you having that same glass ceiling kind of moment on that?
No, just to go back, like I started on bass more or less. Like harmonica was like a kid thing, and then I didn't really develop my harmonica skills until way later. So bass has always just been my instrument. But I don't know if that answers your question.
No, it definitely does. But when you get onto it, do you feel like you naturally fit well on the bass, or are you kind of fighting with that same instrument in the same way that like later on your secondary does?
I felt really comfortable playing bass when I did. I haven't picked one up in forever.
Yeah.
But I know my way around on the bass, and I know enough to like, kind of like the same vibe I have with harmonic. I can just feel the one way or other, and the flow of how to play and where I'm going and just how to hold down. And I spent a lot of time playing bass and establishing my own style or feel, but.
And do you feel like that came from your musical upbringing from your mother, or was that kind of like your stepdad came in and gave you this bag of material and that kind of shaped your listening?
I definitely think he was definitely a major factor in that, but also like the music I was listening to at the time too. So like all that punk stuff and just a lot of 16th notes, and just acting crazy. And
were you picking or were you
fingers?
Two finger method or
Always
three?
Fingers. 4 sometimes.
Shut up! You're one of those guys.
Well,
dude.
Well,
how many words you type per minute? Tell me the truth. You do that shit with one hand? That's fucked up.
I mean, I'd love to include my pinky, but that's sometimes just doing like that whole thing.
It's kind of like flamming in some ways.
Yeah. But my left hand, nah, man, I'm a 3-finger guy. Everyone's like, use your pinky. I'm like, man, it just does not work. It's not there.
Dude, that's hilarious. Did that apply to any other parts of your life? Like when you were in the military, were you a good shot with both hands?
No. Okay. Right-handed only. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I still shoot, man. I shot competitively a couple years ago.
No way.
Yeah.
Did you see that guy at like there's like a world competition for shooters, and it's like everyone has these gadgets on, and he's just this cold Ukrainian dude who's like, he's pretty much sidearming at that point.
Yeah. He's got his weird glasses on, and he's just got that strange like dead face. yeah, I've seen that.
Do you achieve the same mental clarity when you're shooting as you do playing?
Ooh. No. I'm a terrible. I mean, competitively, I'm a terrible shot. Like if I'm just going to the range and messing around, I'm great. But competitively, I'm all fucking awful.
Yeah. Is that an overthinking thing?
Yeah. Well, have you ever seen competitive USPSA shooting?
No, absolutely not.
It's like it's kind of like a John Wick thing where you like,
like course running things.
Yeah, you go through a course and it's hilarious because before you go through the course, like everybody's lined up and you have like, I don't know, like 10 or 12 people that are all running the course with you and watching each other. But before you go on, everybody walks through the course and tries to define like how they're going to approach the course because there's just a bunch of targets and you have to figure out how to shoot them.
Yeah.
And you get points for certain scoring areas, like if you get in the center mass or in the head and whatever. But it's hilarious because you'll see all these people lined up, following each other in a line, like and they start drifting off and making their own pattern, but they're walking through with like finger guns like this. Pew pew, pew pew, pew pew. But it's just to get your mental get your mind ready.
These are actual stone cold killers walking around here, but they look ridiculous right now.
Yes.
I want to know if there's style points. We got dudes doing like one-handed cartwheels and slides and shit like that.
Nah, it's illegal. You're not allowed to do that. You get disqualified.
Soft. No.
I tried that. I like spun around and aimed the gun backwards, and they were like, "No, you're done. Get out of here."
No shit.
No, I'm kidding.
The other day, I got in a heated snowball fight with my brother-in-law, and I tried to go for a 6 slide, thinking I'd get some style points. He got me right in the dome with that shit. And I'm like, I'm a grown-ass man getting humiliated out here. My wife's watching from inside the window. I'm done with this. Are you very deep into all your hobbies? Like, are these just things that keep you up at night? Are you one of those?
I am a madman. People that know me, that I have so many hobbies. It's ridiculous, bro.
What's the one that you didn't think you'd talk about today?
Oh, God. Dungeons and Dragons.
No shit. What's the most you've ever spent on a D&D card?
They're not cards. It's a role playing game.
My bad.
Yeah. I actually 3D print my own terrain and everything. Yeah, like me and my son, we go hard.
So why do I have this thought that Post Malone spent like $1 million on a piece of
card?
Okay.
That was Pokemon.
Oh God, my bad. How dare I? So D&D is more like someone.
Stranger Things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's like someone who's guiding the entire.
Yeah. So there's a dungeon master, which is me.
Okay.
Usually, typically.
Always been the dungeon master.
Oh, I'm DM for life.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Frontman, dungeon master,
Yeah.
bass slinger, gun shooter.
Yeah. Yeah. 3D printer.
3D printer.
Brewmaster.
Guaranteed to fuck your life up in 15 different ways. A friend for life.
I fucked my own up pretty bad. So yeah. Come on, jump aboard.
That's sick. So when did you first get into this, and when did you indoctrinate your son?
Oh man. Well, I started playing junior high with a good buddy of mine. His name's Dave Stringer. Shout out to Dave. And Johnny Seaton. Those good buddies. But we played, man, when we were kids. And it's just such a fun thing, you know. You're just in your heads imagining. It's like telling stories, you know.
Yeah.
But you're sharing in that story and sharing in that experience. And I introduced my son to it, and some of his friends who still play with us today. Like
That's sick.
yeah, we've got like an 8-year campaign going on, man. It's insane. But
It's like
I
Game of
introduced
Thrones,
him
but you
when
give a shit, you know.
yeah, exactly. But he's like, I brought him in when he was about 13. I think that was my rule.
Cool.
You can't play until you're 13. Because some of the guys we were playing with are like, you know, they're pot smokers, and they're all like,
Totally. This doesn't seem like you could do it sober, but if
Yeah.
someone chooses not to, I
Yeah.
mean, like, what is the game except for exploring? Like, if
Exactly.
that's how he wants to do it. I
Yeah.
don't. Dude's 2 bottles of NyQuil in, and he's having a good time. He didn't bring any Sprite, so it's not lean. It's just NyQuil at that point.
yeah.
How much do you think doing that helps your lyric writing with just saying like that open-ended to character development and whatnot?
Yeah, I'm greatly. I imagine, you know, like just being able to use your imagination in any way is always like a great tool. You know, like
Has one ever spun into the other? Has anything ever happened in the campaign that's brought you a song?
Not yet, but
Okay.
there needs to be.
I feel like that's like some Ronnie James Dio shit right there. It's just like
Yeah.
it's got this rugged
dragon!
vibe. Yeah, dude. It's like what's more blues than being deep in a campaign and all your boys are dead. You
Yeah.
know? It's like that's crazy.
Yeah. No, I keep those lives separate. I try to. I shouldn't even be talking about it right now, but
That's fine. I did ask for the one that would be the most honest, and you gave it. So,
Yeah.
well, let's pivot back then. So, you play bass in the punk bands. When did you decide to move away from that genre?
I played in cover bands too.
Okay.
Like yeah, for a long time. After the punk band thing, there was a bunch of cover bands that I was in. And man, I just got burnt out on that. Shout out to all my friends who play in cover bands, but I just couldn't do it. I enjoy the process of creating my own music, and I play my own music to express myself. And I don't feel like we play covers, you know, with CFG and the Family, but being the main focus is just not for me. I get tired of regurgitating other people's stuff when I have so much to say on my own.
Yeah.
You know?
This thought occurred to me, and I lean on it a lot. Like when I play my heroes' works, you know, my number one's probably Prince. When I go to that material, it's like I am not here to imitate. I am here to reciprocate. Like you put something in my life that lit everything from the eyebrows up on fire.
Yeah.
And I need to do that for somebody else. That's the calling in this life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a lot of folks out there where it's not that a cover band's enough, but they still feel that sensation, you know, that awakening with it. And that's beautiful. But some other folks are called to start with a blank page almost every time.
Yeah.
And understanding that as part of your calling as a musician is an important part of maintaining it.
I feel like it's also part of the evolution of like you start off playing somebody else's shit because that's how you learn.
Yeah.
And then eventually you have to just like hum something out in your head. Like everybody is making a stupid song in the kitchen while they're, you know, making their macaroni and cheese or something. They're, you know, that's a song.
But they don't have permission to put it out there in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
like I think
right.
even as songwriters, sometimes I lack permission from myself to write another shitty one.
That's a wall you got to break though. You know, like
Exactly.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the muscle. So how often do you sit down and intentionally write?
Man, it's not as often as I would like or used to, but I'm always writing, and I feel like this is weird. I don't want to get all deep, but I've always viewed myself as more. I've heard other people say this as well, but as just an antenna, a receiver of whatever is out there in the ether that is pulling. Because a lot of shit, I'm like, how the fuck did I come up with like that little melody? That just came to me out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But no, I'm always recording stuff on my phone in the middle of the day, or humming something, and then the next thing you know, there's lyrics that come along with it, just like a short little paragraph sentence, or 3 words. It could be 3 fucking words, and I'm just repeating that over in my head. But I'll record that and get it down, because if I don't capture that right away, it's gone. I've lost it.
Yeah.
But I'm always, dude. You gotta see my phone. It's ridiculous. There's stuff.
It's a messy world in there.
It is, and I try to save a lot of that stuff out, and I put it on my Google Drive, and I come back and revisit some of that stuff and patch some of it together like Legos, and just to put stuff together. But I also do the same with lyrics. Like, so sometimes I'll sit down and write, or I'll write those phrases down that come to me, and then patch those together with other lyrics. And then when I get together with the guys and we're jamming, and they're playing something, or I'm with them, I'm playing harp, and we've got a cool groove going. I pull out those lyrics, and I just start throwing stuff at it.
Yeah. And do you actually pull out the phone and start to scroll and say, that one, see how it fits, that one, see how it fits? Being prepared like that, most of the time when we hear folks talking about songwriting now, it's like it's very clinical. It's like 5 writers in a room, and they're like pop stars and things like that. And there's something much more honest about, like, no, I'm the lyrics guy in the band, so I brought my bag, and they're gonna give me something, and I'm gonna give them something. And I definitely understand the antenna thing. Sometimes the right words just hit you. Like, you'll be having a conversation with a friend in distress, and you'll say the right thing for them, or they'll say the right thing for you. And it's like that didn't come from a person or a conversation. That came from something that's bigger than both of us.
Yeah.
And you can call that 1,000 different things, from God to a muse to, your Aunt Josephine that's just talking crazy in your ear because she's in the K-hole and she's like 20 miles away, but she can still get in your dome. Like, it does not matter. But when it happens, there's moments where it can be more honest with you than you could ever be to yourself.
Right.
And those things are freaky. It's almost like deja vu in some ways.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that shit could be scary. You ever write something that felt like it was meant for your future self, and then you get there, you're like, oh shit, dude.
Yeah. I've gone back to revisit shit and been like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did I write that?
It really does feel like that. And if you're honest with not having to own what comes out, like, I'm not in control of what I write. One, that's a great way to get out of crazy text messages, but it's also a great way to be like, I don't have to be the person to be the antenna.
Yeah.
I can just be responsible for doing my part in furthering this. And there's something really incredible about, like, we touched briefly on the new project coming out.
Yeah.
But when you start to compile the body of work, and you can see this chapter of your life and know, like, that was what I was going through, that might be what I'm going through in a year from now. It might have been 20 years from now. Like, it's hard to say where these things come from. But when you start to kind of reflect on it, it's really incredible.
Yeah. I like going back and listening to my old stuff and just, tapping back into that, because some of it's been a while since I've written that shit, like 10 plus years. So it's like just going back and sitting in that moment for a minute and remembering, like, where that came from. It's like, man, wow.
Yeah.
That's fun. It's like you get a blast from the past from your blast from the past.
Dude, it's heavy. And when you put the project together, too, like, at some point you got to hit print. It's never going to be perfect.
Yeah.
It's just going to be good enough.
We struggle with that so much right now. This new album and everything we've been doing. We recorded it 4 times. The entire album.
Oh my God.
4 fucking times, bro. This last time I was like, this is it, guys. I'm doing this again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who kind of drives the insatiability in that? Is it you, or is it everyone kind of on their own parts?
I think collectively we had several recording sessions that there were errors and, like, problems with the sound equipment. So there's a buzz throughout everything, and we didn't realize it until way later.
Yeah.
And
classic.
Exactly. But we tried tape. We tried one of our buddies' living rooms, and the sound wasn't right. The equipment wasn't right, and then we went in the studio 2 different times, and finally we were like, you know what, fuck it, Logic, Pro Tools. We're like, let's just go digital. Let's stop trying to chase this pipe dream of doing analog, and we did, and by that time, we've already been playing these songs for 2 years, and recording them was just a day going in and just nailing everything down.
At the end of that, for the last time you tracked it, did it feel like a chore? Or did it feel like the weight had kind of been taken off? Like,
it was like a weight, man, really.
That's awesome.
And honestly, like, I haven't really felt a huge release of that pressure until just the other night, like earlier this week, when I uploaded the music to DistroKid, and I was like, thank God.
Yeah. Well, let's make sure we get the plugs out very deliberately. What is the name of the album?
The name of the album is Sacred Fields.
Fantastic. And when is the release date online and then the show promoting it?
February 21st.
Is the release date?
Yeah,
okay, for both.
For both.
And where's it going to be at?
The Fitness Center in Hamilton.
Very nice.
And we've got a huge, ambitious plan for the whole thing.
That's awesome. Do we hear more about the ambitious plan in the new year, or?
No, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now.
Please.
Because we're about to announce this any day, but you're hearing it first here on
That's what I'm talking about,
here on your show, bro.
Get me fired up.
So the plan is to tickets are $25 first and foremost. You can get your tickets online at the Fitness Center. But we're gonna include a CD with your entry fee or with your ticket price. So a physical CD just for showing up. And then the first set is going to be the album from start to finish. So we're going to play all of that. So you get to experience that live. And then the second set, we're going to have a bunch of guest artists that sit in with us. So we're going to have keys. I can't call out who these people are yet.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, just tell me the instruments.
Yeah, but I'll tell you the instruments. So keys, horns, trombone, saxophone, and trumpet. And then we're going to have backup singers as well.
Cool. And what does the second set like musically derive from? Is it other albums material? Is it covers? Is it a mix?
Yeah. So the first couple songs we're going to do will be songs from our first album, but redone with the full treatment with all of our guests.
Yeah.
Which would be awesome because we've never played them with like horns and backup singers. So that'll be fun.
That's badass.
And then we're going to add in some new songs that aren't on the album that's going to be released. So we're giving a prequel to the next album.
Very nice.
Which is super fun. And then on top of that, we're going to play a few select covers that we've picked out. So each band member picked out a song that we want to do with all our guests.
You could tell us what you picked. You could tell me that right now.
Can
right?
I tell you?
Yeah.
No, that's a secret.
Fuck.
But the cherry on the top of all of that huge ambitious project is that we're going to record it, all of it, and then release that as a live show.
Very nice.
Following whenever we can get it mastered or whatever.
Yeah. When I love that approach too, because not only are the reservations made in the album of how long does this solo go, what's the interlude going to look like, we can stretch more in the live setting, but how that leads into the next body of work too. Like, how much of the next album's already written?
We've got 4 songs.
Okay. And are all 4 of those in that set?
No.
Okay.
Just 3.
Okay, cool.
Because we actually just wrote one of the new ones like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. How important is it for you as an artist to get a hard copy in hand and to be like, this is the manifestation of my work?
I mean, I that's cool and all, but I want it out there for other people, you know.
Yeah.
I like it digitally because I'm a Spotify listener.
Yeah.
As crappy as that whole platform is.
Listen, I can fight the devil as much as I want, man.
Yeah.
But when it comes to distribution, I got to be on their phones. I got to live in their pockets. And,
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I live on Spotify. So Spotify.
Spotify them, you know what I'm saying?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, it's odd in this world of music too, where it's never been better to be an independent artist in terms of accessing new listeners. You know, like for me, like TikTok has been huge in actually finding an audience that relates to not just this song that I put out at this point in time, but me as an artist. These people understand my humor. They watch my process in the studio. They come with me to my live shows. Like, they live in my pocket, you know? And we've gotten to know each other on a very serious level.
Yeah.
And that's incredible.
That's dope. I don't fuck with TikTok a lot.
If we can talk after this, I would love to encourage you to at least give it a try. Just because we now live in this world where you don't know where you're going to run into the person that needed your work the most. In that same way that I'm not here to to imitate my heroes. I'm here to reciprocate that thing. Like, I need to find the people who's from the eyebrows up are going to be on a fucking fire because they love this.
That's super cool. Yeah, I dig that.
Yeah, and there's something amazing about that platform because they're not going to take you down for playing your own material and having to work through the copyright stuff. So, like, there are safety nets in terms of making sure artists like you and I get paid for our works. But we do live in a new world where a lot of the old guard and the old rules are holding us back from making the right moves as artists. Should I get pinned for playing a cover song on Facebook when I'm already playing that in my live set and they're already collecting the ASCAP, BMI, CSAC royalties? There's 1,000 different ways that we've jumped through the hoops to try to make sure everyone was taken care of. But I can't help the fact that someone wants to watch on Facebook and you're going to ding me for that?
Right.
Metallica got dinged for playing their own shit in Antarctica because they wanted to play on all the continents at one point. And it's like, if they can't get the licensing approval to play their own shit.
Who can?
Yeah, exactly. What am I supposed to do?
So
at least on a place like TikTok, there's no qualms with that, And maybe that's the fear of like, okay, it's an app that we don't have a lot of control of. I'm not here to have control of everything,
Yeah, the whole system right now, the music industry is wild, man. It's taking I think it's evolving. Like right now,
we are looking at something totally different than we looked at for the last 50 years.
Yeah. And it's scary too. Like for an artist, it's like, man, what's going to happen to my shit?
Yeah.
Especially with AI and all that. Like,
I think the biggest thing is it makes you question why do you do it and controlling your baseline of expectations. Do I want music to pay my bills? Fuck yeah. It's been the only job I've ever had. If that changes, it's going to be an issue for me.
Yeah.
Is that why I do it? No, that's not why you picked up the instrument in the first place. Is the AI going to make a song that sounds like you because it sampled your own material? And you may not be able to make claims of that.
Fucking AI.
If it rocks, it rocks. What am I supposed to say? Like, it beat me to a good idea? I don't know.
So let me ask you: Have you dabbled? Have you put your toe in the AI world? Have you explored that at all?
Not on a creative standpoint, but definitely on an efficiency standpoint.
Yeah.
Let me give you some examples. Today's show is going to go into an AI that's going to edit out the clips for me.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't spend the time saying what was the best moment of this. I'm also not the best judge. So I used to be paying somebody to edit the clips.
It's expensive.
Now I can do that for much cheaper. Exactly. I have a bio. Now I need a short bio. I need an APK tagline. I can kick that stuff in and save myself time. So as a small business owner, gang, this shit's been cool. Also, when it comes to, like, the technology in here, like, I'm running cables from this room to the control room. Shit doesn't work. It's nice to have someone I can talk to be like, it still doesn't work, motherfucker. And they're like, well, it's not your fault. Don't worry about that. It's like, no, when I call my buddies, they're like, leave me alone. So there's great things there. And then there's artists that have never taken the time to learn a chordal instrument, that they have the voice memos that you and I do, that they need backing, and boom, they got a song. Am I supposed to tell them that they should have gone through the same doors that I did to get the song out? I can't.
Yeah.
It's up to you if you want to go that way.
Right.
I'll tell you, I'd rather you play 2 chords on the instrument and say that's good enough for the song, because limitations make the best art. And when you don't find your own limitations, you will never find the inexcusable thumbprint that makes you so particular to you that a computer can never generate.
Yeah. I'm in the mindset that it's here. It's not going anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not embracing it fully, but also I'm not denying it. I hear some cool shit and I'm like, wow, that was incredible. And AI assisted with that. Like whether that was someone that put something together by what you said, like played a couple chords, put it in there, or hummed a melody, and out came a song that sounded like Stevie Wonder did it. And I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah, truly.
Like, but then go back over that and sing your lyrics. Like take out what it created and add to that and refine that. Use it as a tool and not as the be all end all. It like that's not your instrument. That's your that's a tool to get to where you're trying to go.
100%. In the same way that Pro Tools was an easier option than tape at that point in time. It's like path of least resistance to getting ideas out is important.
Yeah.
But taking the time to refine your own craft as a person in the analog world, like I think the easier it becomes to make catchy viral videos on the internet makes what you and I do more valuable, because it is a rarity that someone's taking the time to do that. So
Yeah.
you know, all we can do is play with the cards we're dealt at that point.
Right.
And it is very weird. I was talking to my buddy Freakbase about this, though.
Oh, yeah, I know Freakbase.
Yeah, Chris is the man.
Yeah, he's wild.
Dude, he is wild.
I've seen a lot of his videos pop up lately, and I just love his vibe. He's just like...
He's a thumping and plucking kind of guy that's always doing, and people love him for that. He's one of like the top 100 TikTok creators in the world.
No
and before
shit.
that, he was an artist in the jam band category that had really busted his ass for the last 20 years to get to where he was. And the glass ceiling was the internet. And now he's on Jimmy Fallon, you know? It's like shit's crazy.
He's a wild man, dude.
He is. But there's a great human psychology thing here where people take the best songs in the world and what's the genre that they make it into just to see what it would sound like. Classic funk and soul, baby.
Dude.
It's like no one's asking for a pop version of Thunderstruck. You know, no one's, if they're asking for country songs, it's strictly to make cruder country songs.
Dude, I've heard some versions of like funk songs, like those. They're amazing.
They are.
Like some of the, like, I think it was a Pearl Jam song or something. I was like, what the?
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And why do we go there? It's like, because there's a bit of humanity in that feeling, even if it's computer generated. So if it does anything on that front, maybe it pulls our genre interest back to there.
Yeah, there was a solid week or two where, you know, Chris Reese.
Yeah.
From that band. Yeah. Chris Reese and I were just like sending these songs back and forth to each other, like, bro, listen to this one. He's like, listen to this one.
Dude,
that's kind of incredible, honestly. Like I'm amazed by that.
Yeah. When you want to talk about musicians in the cover category that like do it justice, like that's a guy that holds so much admiration for the music in his life that of course that shit has him floored. You know, it's like Chris Cornell doing Nothing Compares to You versus Prince. It's like, well, if I can get Barry White to do it, why the fuck wouldn't I? You know, it's
Right.
like just I want to know these things.
Yeah.
But I think this is something that I've been thinking about a lot. The death of the modern listener is the lack of the family piano. You forgot to suck at some point.
Right.
So you don't appreciate when someone's great. Yngwie Malmsteen as a guitar player is not cool if you don't play guitar. You know? That shit's just kind of exactly. You're just flying, dude. It's like NASCAR doesn't look that great on TV because it doesn't look like they're going that fast because everyone's doing it.
Yeah.
So clean pop stars isn't that interesting. But the guy on TikTok that looks like he just got off his shift working at the fucking Sunoco, who came back and has the most like angsty, heartache, half-assed version of this song, that shit gets in the bottom of our brainstem. I don't think the AI takes that away. It just makes us embrace it because they'll take the high-polished sheen and we'll take the rugged things that make us human beings, you know?
Yeah. I love that.
It's something about bending the note, man. You never realize why does bending the note feel so much better? Because it's honestly out. It's microtonal. It's your fretless bass. It's something that told you, like, it's a little bit more to the left. And then when you got, it's like, fuck yeah,
That's
dude.
it.
It's all over, you know?
Yeah.
So at this stage in your career, what are the driving factors behind your own writing?
Man, I am at a point now, beyond this CD release and this album, and the new stuff, what's driving me? I don't really know, man. I'm just in it for the long haul, and I'm just always trying to push further. I've got a lot of solo shit out. It's not out, but I've got it like in the vault, you know?
Don't let your son open that when you're in a box. Do it yourself.
I know. Like I was having that conversation with my buddy Brandon, who I mentioned earlier, and I don't know, man. I've got so much stuff that I want to put out. So I think that's my next thing is just to share that stuff and put that down, and so that I'm driven by that. just to share that stuff that I've created and to explore it again, because I've probably got like 25, 30 songs that are just sitting on the back burner, and it's like going back to those and playing them in a new format, and giving them a true sonic treatment versus just me droning away on a dobro in a corner, like giving it,
which is a vibe and a half. I mean, let's be honest, that's kind of the shit. But you're right. They have to live songs outside of you.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't yours to keep.
Right.
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 That's the crazy thing. And like, it's weird that they demand something of you as much as you demand something of them. You're like, I want you to be perfect before anyone else sees you.
Yeah.
And they're like, what was the? I was talking to a buddy about this on the last podcast. Was it Munchausen's, where parents, they pretend like their kid's too sick to let them out? Like, you're pretending like your songs are too sick to show anybody else. But the truth is, they're fine.
Yeah.
Okay? Put them out in the world. Mm-hmm. At some point, I'd love for you to come out and play my songwriters night as well. I'd love to hear you do that kind of a thing. But,
I'm going to be 100% honest here. Playing solo gigs is just not my thing.
You can bring a guitar player. That's fine. But...
No. I need to break through it. Like, I know there's this, the safety net's gone. When the band's not there and it's just me. You know this. Like, you're playing solo. It's like you're that vulnerability for me is amplified because of my mental. Like, I'm not that great of a guitar player. In my mind. And it's like, no, it's just, if I just get rid of that thought and just proceed, I'm fine. I'm good enough to get by. This is all right. This doesn't suck. And I'm conveying something, and I'm expressing, and I'm getting a feeling out. And sometimes, we just bottle that stuff up. And I just got to get over the hump, get over the barrier, and love it.
Yeah,
as for what it is, and just put it out. But yeah, I don't play a lot of solo shows because I'm still battling that demon.
It's understandable,
which is so wild, because I'll get up on the stage with the guys and like you'd never think that, you'd be like, oh, what is this guy? He's afraid to fucking play.
Yeah,
no.
But there's safety nets on all those things, and exploring the places where we're not comfortable is such an important part of letting the songs be themselves. It's like, it was good enough for you to explore even when it had never been written down. For it to not be good enough now with just guitar and vocal is such an injustice to it.
Yeah. Well, and also that's part of my personal growth, and just looking at it and being like, all right, I know I have to do this in order to to get better and to grow as a musician. And as a person. So it's something I'm looking forward to, but also I'm fucking terrified.
When did you discover your voice?
Oh man. So this is a rabbit hole of a story. I didn't start singing until my wife Angie passed away. So Angie was diagnosed with ovarian cancer in 2012. She passed away in 2013. And while we were going through chemotherapy and in and out of the hospital and all of that with her treatment, I just started writing a lot. I had been in a band with a buddy of mine. His name is Brian Tarter. He was in a band called Brass Owl. We were in a band called Brass Owl. And that was his band. He was singing, and Angie would come out to the shows and everything. And so I was playing bass with that band, and we were doing pretty well. But when Angie got sick, I was like, hey guys, I got to step away. So I wrote all those songs while she was passing. She did pass, and I went back to the band, and I was like, hey guys, I want to get back into music. I took some time off, and then I got back to them, and I was like, I want to play these songs that I've written, but I have to sing them because they're my songs, and I can't have anybody else singing or expressing these emotions. It was really deep stuff. And out of that formed a band called the Magic Lightning Boys. And that was the first time I really started singing. I sang in karaoke and shit like that, and dumb stuff. But never really full out here's my heart, I'm singing.
Yeah.
And so I wrote a lot of dark, sad stuff and a bunch of love songs, and it was the blues. It was blues rock. And that band took the fuck off, dude. Like sky was the limit. Felt good. And all that music's still out there. It's on Spotify and everything. There's 3 albums out there. It's really good stuff. But that was like when I first started singing, and that's where that all came from. It was truly the blues, I lost someone very special to me, my world, and I had to express that. So one of the songs on the first title album is called "Gone," and the whole thing is like, now that you're gone. That's like the main line in the song, but there's a lot in there, man, and it's just raw emotion, and that's where it started. And that band, we had a falling out, and
Are you wearing that hoodie right now?
I am,
dude. That's
yeah. But yeah, we had a falling out, and then the band dissolved more or less. And then I started going to the open jams again, and I hooked up with Mason and Pete and Greg and Brandon. Brandon was initially in our band, my buddy, who I've mentioned several times. Brandon was one of the original members, but Pete was actually the sound engineer on the Magic Lightning Boys music. Like, we used him, and we went to 3rd Street to record our stuff. So when we were at the open jam, I was like, Pete, let's do something, So we just naturally had that connection, and the vibe was right, man. And we got together, CFG and the Family. Like, we didn't really establish a band till later, but we got together at 3rd Street just to tinker around at the studio and see what happened. We're like, the open jam was fun. Let's take this to the studio and just record some stuff to see what happens. We sat down and we jammed out for about, 4 to 6 hours, and out of that came our first album. We recorded over 21 different songs that night. Bro,
dude, if you do the math, you're only not playing for like 15 minutes,
Yeah. It was insane. Like, it was an experience like I've never had before. Just because I had a whole stack of lyrics there, and I was just throwing stuff at whatever we were jamming. But we were just all locked in so hard. It was like, man, that's a song. That's a song. That's a song. And we just refined those after a while. And and there's probably still stuff that I could go back to in that collection and be like, oh, we didn't pursue this. Like, but that's something fucking really cool. Let's check that out.
Was there any lyrical content from your chapter with the Magic Lightning Boys that came? Okay.
Mm-hmm. There was some stuff that didn't make the cut with that band, but I just was like, let's try it.
What was it like to revisit that place through those lyrics with a whole new group of people?
Bro, I still have some stuff. Like, I still have stuff from that period. Just, jotted notes or memories even, just like little stuff. But yeah, it's always cool just to go back and meditate on that stuff.
Yeah. Well, anyone that's in a relationship questions how do you handle that type of experience, and it's incomprehensible. And anyone can say that they can imagine it, but the service that you've done by some people squander the hardest parts of their life by not wanting to take the picture and hold on to that. And it's like you've turned heartache into something where people can come and be understood when or if that time ever comes for them.
Oh, dude, that was my only way to deal with my grief, to be honest with you. Like, I was spiraling shortly after her death, and like I was drinking myself into oblivion. It's where I learned my love for bourbon.
Like, I developed some skills.
Yeah.
with my mouth during that time.
But yeah, I actually had some family members, like, they came and they had an intervention. They were like, hey, you got to chill out. And I was like, okay, all right, cool. Well, I'm going to focus on music then 100%. And that's what I did. Like, I wasn't working at that point in time. I was just like, all right, I have to deal with this trauma. So yeah, I just 100% in the music, and that was my grief mechanism.
Yeah.
And to this day, you know, like it's not anything you ever get over. You know, that's you learn to numb the pain, you know, but I found that to embrace it and try to bring some, I don't know, bring something out of it. Just try to formulate something out of it instead of festering in it.
What's the song that hits the nail on the head the most for that time period in your life?
Probably Gone. Gone's probably, that one. And then Couple Skate, which
Say
is
it again?
also Couple Skate.
Cool.
It's a love song, but it with the Magic Lightning Boys. This is kind of weird. I play that song in the Magic Lightning Boys, and we play it in CFG and the Family. But with CFG and the Family, we've turned it into a slow blues song. But with the Magic Lightning Boys, it's a whole different song. It's a different vibe.
Yeah, isn't that weird the way the song can take on new life when you just show it to a different group of people? It's like, you feel like it has an identity, and it's like, no, it's the same inkling when the song came to you, and it's kind of free to live its own life and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like hard to handle between Otis's version and the Black Crowes version. It's like this ain't the same fucking thing.
Right.
It's a similar message.
Mm-hmm. The lyrics are the same, but the vibe is.
Is there anything from that chapter you still want to give that same treatment to? Any Magic Lightning Boys material where you're like, I think I could do this better as a solo act. I think CFG could do an awesome version of it.
Yeah, I don't think that the guys in CFG and the Family, they don't want to pursue any of that stuff. They feel like it's kind of like treading on, you know.
Yeah, it's territorial.
It's territorial. Yeah. For me, I wouldn't mind playing some of that stuff. I would do some of it solo, you know.
I think it's an important part of the solo show too, to say like, this is what.
It's a nod to that period.
Yeah, well, you know, I have a hard time when my favorite bands break up.
Yeah.
The material kind of dies with them.
Yeah.
But if the songwriter's still out there, it's an injustice not to play the song, especially in a different version that brings me back to those recordings.
Yeah, I play some of that stuff. I've played a few songs before in solo settings, but I need to explore more of that for sure.
Yeah. At this point in your career, having been so many parts of a band and now having CFG as kind of like your main project, but exploring the solo thing, like, what's the most fulfilling outcome?
Oh man, I don't know. Everybody wants to be famous, you know.
But what's the appealing part of that?
I don't know. For me, it's not. I don't really want to be famous. That's verbal vomit. But
it's understandable. I mean,
yeah.
And you look at the world around us, and I think that's what everyone's thinking in the back of their head. And it's like notoriety without purpose is horrible. You know.
I don't think it's for me. It's not about being famous. It's like I want to be able to sustain a lifestyle based on this. Like this is what I do. You know, like I own my own business. Think Tank Creatives. .com. Plug. Yeah, so I do brand development, graphic design, photography, web development, and I've recently I'm doing social media management as well. So there's that. That's my job. I went to school for that. You know, I've been doing it for 30 years. That's my bread and butter. But the music thing is also like a major, more so a major part of my life. That's my life. You know, you have your sustainability, and then you have your love and your passion. And the music is my passion. I would love to be able to pursue it 100% and get paid for it, and be able to just live comfortably. You know?
But within that too, like, what's the most important part of being a musician to you? I think that's kind of the core of the question.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. People need to hear that kind of thing too, because they say you need 3 hobbies. You need one that makes you happy, one that makes you money, one that keeps you healthy.
Mm-hmm.
For anything to knock off 2 out of 3 of those is fucking awesome. But some people get to go 3 for 3 with the thing they love. There's nothing wrong with working towards that, and I think we're all working towards that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think. I mean, just pursuing that happiness, you know, like I think that's the most important thing for me.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah, and do you find that most after a studio session, after a live show, after writing?
I love the writing process and the interaction with other people and sharing that moment and those creations. And then I love studio time. I love being in the studio. And then just like everybody listening back to tracks, you know, when you're all in there and just that moment, it's like being a fucking scientist in it. You know, let's put this here, there, put that there. Let's try this, let's try that. And you're just like connecting all these things that normally wouldn't be together. And to me, that's magic, man. That's so fun.
Yeah.
I love that. I love exploring. I love being creative. And I love sharing creative space with other people. So that's it.
Yes. I think people need to hear that. It's the call to action to do it yourself, you know?
Yeah, man.
If you're sitting around, you're learning a couple chords, you better fucking write something with that.
Well, and there's so many people that say, oh, I can't play like you do. It's like, yes, you can. You just need to do it.
It's time to fall in love with the thing instead of just flirting with the thing.
Yeah.
You know? And
yeah. I always tell my son, we've had this conversation like a million times about like back to like all the hobbies and all that shit. You know, like I do all these fucking things, and he's like, I don't know how you have time for all this. I don't understand it. Like you're like the wizard behind the Wizard of Oz. You know, you got all this shit going on. I'm like, you just have to do it, man. You're like, stop being afraid to fail. Fail. That's how you learn. That's how you do these things. You have to fall on your face. You have to do it. You have to, like, I can't, like I was saying earlier, I hate to play guitar in front of people because I suck at it. You know, at least in my mind I do. But I got to do that. I got to get over that hurdle. You just got to do it. And then the more you do it, the better you get at it. And people stop thinking, you know, oh, he sucks. Like, oh, he's doing it.
Yeah.
and you have to believe that yourself.
And if you don't go into the fearful territory of being a beginner or being the worst on a bandstand or falling on your face, it's like life gets pretty fucking dull if you're not a little scared of something.
Everybody started somewhere. Everybody fell on their face. Stevie Wonder fell on his face when he first picked up a harmonica. You know what I mean? Like he didn't magically pick it up and boom, was there. Or maybe he did. I don't fucking know.
Dude, with that guy, it's hard to say. You know, he played the drums to Superstition with nothing else.
Yes.
And dude, it's just knew the track inside and out.
It's like, insane. Yeah, I see videos of like all his older stuff. There was something that popped up the other day on Instagram, and it was him at Soul Train. And he was doing an improv Soul Train song, playing piano, and it was the coolest thing. It was like, it could have been like on an album. It was that genuine and that fucking awesome. The dude he's
yeah. Well, what I can take from this is you're probably not a guy that does well with compliments, but let me just say, you're a standout.
Thank you.
In the ways that you approach your craft, but also just the way that you, as a person, welcome people in. So thank you for coming on, taking some time for me today.
Thank you.
I love what you do. One more time, just to make sure it gets plugged. Give me the name of the album, the date, the ticket price.
Sacred Fields. CFG and the Family. Sacred Fields at the Fitness Center, online and available on February 21st.
Get your brains fucked up, kids. It's going to be a crazy day out here.
Yeah.
Casey Gomez, thank you so much for making the time, my friend.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Peace, players.
See ya.